What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me? Hey, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Sunday, child. Let's get into the things of the things of the things. Child, I was finishing up my dessert. Uh, Mr. Iran Love. Okay. Hey, the inform. Phaedra acting like we weren't introduced to her taking cash payments for services in parking lots. Katie told us she knows people in the Atlanta government. Well, yep. Hey Chuck, what's up, boo? Marcus was confronted by the ladies. I still think it was Britt who sent his ass to Kelly's event. Okay. Hey Jasween, T Goody, Tan, what's going on, y'all? Mahogany, the episode was everywhere and distasteful. I give it a 3. Ooh. There is a poll. So y'all answer the poll, please. The question is, do you think Phaedra is guilty? Yes or no? Please do the poll. We're going to check it at the end. Y'all remind me to check the poll at the end. Cynthia knows Phaedra could do crazy stuff, so I don't know why she acted surprised. I don't know why any of them are acting surprised. All of them, child. What up, Cajun? Symmetry, Lovely Soul. What's going on? Anything that has Phaedra's name attached to it is dirt. Ooh. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Philboo. Phaedra had that same stupid look season 9. She did. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, you're not a good liar. Hey, Quay. All right, y'all. Miss, I got in touch with Nini's sister is guilty. Ooh. Hey, Kevin. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, Vanity's Mirror, Tiffany. All right, anybody that I missed, charge it to my head, not my heart. Let's get into it. Sorry about that, you guys. So this was the finale episode, and I'm going to be honest. For a finale, I feel like they did a good job of trying to wrap it up. I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay, here I come. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I'm gonna keep saying this. I said it before, and I'm gonna keep saying. No, I am home. I got home today. I actually just got in the house about 6 o'clock because our flight was delayed, and I had me some dinner. And by the time I did all of that, child, it was time for me to get into this. But anyway, we'll get there. Hey, what's up, boo? What's up, JB? Listen, I've said this a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it until, either the Housewives get canceled or somebody listens. They need to go back to limiting what people can put on social media. I feel like they do have clauses, and I don't know if they're just not enforcing them anymore, or if the networks think that the social media increases viewership, so they don't enforce it. I don't know what it is, but they tell us way too much on social media. Now, honestly, as a blogger, it gives me content. I'm not going to, but as a viewer, it takes too much away from the episode, because like the big moment of this episode was supposed to be the reveal of who sent Marcus to that event. And the way they filmed it even let you know that they were trying to give us this big build-up. Was it Kelly? No. Was it Britt? No. It was Phaedra. Like, the way they filmed this, but it was anticlimactic because all of us already knew the accusation. And so I feel like the big moment, the big pinnacle of this episode just fell flat. It just fell flat. So I really feel like they need to go back to promote the episode, but you can't talk about anything that has not been shown. Nothing. I don't care about how many interviews. I don't care how many people like, you can talk about what we've seen, and that is it, and that is all. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I also don't think that they should be able to post stuff while they're filming. For example, we knew they went to Grenada because they had posted those pictures from the waterfall. We had seen those videos and those reels. We had already seen that, so we knew they went to Grenada. Now that might not be a big deal. People be like, well, so what? We know they go on a trip. Why does it matter? But again, I just feel like as much as we don't know about the season, the better. I think that's why so many of us are disappointed with the seasons. And I know I have said this before, but y'all just got to hear me bitch about it again, because we spend the whole season waiting for the moment we heard about. So everything else, we're like, oh, that was boring. Oh, this was filler. And I'm guilty too. I point the finger at myself too. But that's because we're waiting for what we saw. Oh, Phaedra's coming back. So we spend the Kenya thing, you kind of, I guess because it was open to the public, you kind of really couldn't get around the whole Kenya piece of it. But I mean, for us to know certain things, yeah, sure. But we know way too much. And I just think, Andy confirmed on Watch What Happens Live that Phaedra was bitch from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She looked a little taken aback that he said that. Well, I'm going to tell you why she probably looked taken aback that he said it. Because generally speaking, unless it's a very egregious situation, Bravo very rarely confirms anything as it relates to personnel. If you pay attention, Bravo has still not made an official statement about Kenya. They said that they chose to no longer film with Kenya for this season. They haven't made a definitive statement about Kenya being fired. Unless it's, like I said, a very egregious situation where a housewife just straight up like, nah, we just can't have her here anymore. They generally just don't speak on it. They let us speculate. They usually give the housewife the opportunity to speak on it. That's why you'll hear a lot of housewives say they chose to step away. They chose to take a break. They chose. And sometimes they ain't choose shit. You know what I mean? But generally, Bravo lets people do that. That's why when you hear somebody like a Robin Dixon say, no, I got fired. Like, I'm going to be honest and tell y'all, I got fired. I ain't going to sit here and pretend like it was something else. I got fired. Very few housewives will say that they got fired. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into this episode, child. You see, it's a bunch of filler because it ain't a whole lot here. Let's start this episode off. Angela said Miss Parks gave her the man's name. We're going to get to it, y'all. We're going to get to it. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I might even open up the panel. I might even drop the link for a few minutes and let y'all come up. We just got to see how late it get. But I might just let y'all come up for a few minutes. I thought about that earlier. I may just drop the link for a few minutes. But let's get into it. So the episode starts off with Porsha and Lauren meeting with Phaedra. I guess they're allowing Willie Watkins' funeral home to take care of the homegoing services for Londi. That makes sense. Willie Watkins is like, thank you, Edwina. Thank you, boo. Willie Watkins is like the premier funeral home in the state of Georgia and probably beyond. So it makes sense that he's doing it. I mean, of course, we know that Phaedra is connected with his funeral home and all of that. So it made sense. I mean, that moment made sense. I'm not going to put too much on it. Because, again, I tell you guys all the time, when real life meets reality TV, this was a real life moment. And, you know, I'm going to just move forward. I hate to hear that Lauren was actually on the phone with Londi when she transitioned. Like, I cannot. I can't imagine. The only thing I will clown is Porsha says she was at work when she got the call. Girl, what job? And listen, it's a joke. Before all the Porsha people come after me and tell me all the 50-11 jobs that Porsha has, I want to know which one she was at. Was she making content for Go Naked? Was she doing a photo shoot with some sheets? Was she filming a scene for the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Like, what job was it? Was she doing her YouTube channel? What job was it? That's all I'm going to say about that. We'll move on. Let me tell y'all something. While all of us, and I'm going to say us, Because we did it. We all did it. It's 200 of y'all in this room right now. We all did it. I know some of y'all gonna be like, I ain't do it really. Be you speak for yourself. We all did it. At the beginning of this season, we all had our eye on Shamea. Or we was all focused on this Brittany Kenya debacle situation. Hell, some of us was even focused on Phaedra coming back, whether we liked it or we didn't like it. We was like, what is going to happen? Some people was even paying attention to Lil Lo Kelly. But ain't nobody, and when I say nobody, I mean nobody, saw Angela Oakley coming. And hey, don't everybody try to jump on the Angela Oakley now, because if we rewind the tape, myself included, if we rewind the tape back to the beginning of this season, baby, nobody was checking for Angela Oakley. But let me tell you something. Baby, Angela Oakley is the best thing that happened to this season. I don't care what nobody say. Even to the way this thing happened at the end. The only mistake she made with this end moment, and I'm going to tell y'all the mistake she made at the end. We're going to get there. I'm going to tell y'all the mistake she made at the end. But baby, Angela Oakley is giving me all of the things that I need. And if they don't bring her back next year, I know they better. And they better give her a raise. Because listen. Angela Oakley done carried the second half of this season on her back. Do you understand what I'm telling y'all? Probably the last 5 or 6 episodes, Angela Oakley done carried this. Okay? Now let me say this. Phil said, let's rewind. I always saw it for Angela. JB said, I liked Angela, just thought she was keeping secrets. Ooh. But listen, she has turned out to be the most transparent out of all of them. She went down to Carlos King and told all her business, hers, Charles, and everybody else's. Even down to this episode when she done told that lady, she said, listen, my husband told me not to buy these houses and not to do this, and I didn't listen to him. And as a result, I know, Brooklyn, thank you, boo. And as a result, not only did I go against what my husband wanted, but now I'm going to lose them. So when Phaedra tried to throw that tea in her face at the end of this episode, Angela was like, girl, that ain't no news. What you thought that was some news? That my houses are in foreclosure? Baby, that ain't no news. What you talking about? I was here for it. Angela said, listen, my marriage ain't been perfect. It ain't always been no bed of roses. But me and my husband have worked hard. He been in therapy. I've been in therapy. We go to the same therapist, but we go separately. The therapists know all our business. I had to work my way up to trusting him again. And I'm not going to let this group of women shake that foundation that we are building. We ain't perfect. She said that them houses, bad idea. I effed it up. Angela, I'm gonna tell you, she even said that Charles actually gave her money to try to help her, to help her, and she was just throwing good money after bad. Let me tell you something, and I said this like episode 3 or 4. I think the mistake you made, and this is coming from somebody that don't have nobody's real estate license. Okay, I don't have nobody's real estate license, but I honestly feel like the mistake you made was you tried to do too many houses at one time. I think had you done one house, flipped it, used the profit, bought another house, flipped it, used the profit, bought another house, flip it, used the profit. I really feel like you'd have been better off. It sounded like you bought about 5 or 6 houses at one time. Maybe you got them at an auction. Maybe you got them as a foreclosure and you thought it was going to be easy breezy because you didn't talk to somebody who said they flipped 20 houses and now they're a millionaire. They didn't tell you. See, let me tell you something. Now, I know Puffy probably ain't the person to be quoting these days, but I'll never forget. I saw a post Puffy did years ago on his Instagram, and he said, people don't post their failures. And I'm going to say somebody probably sat down with Angela and told her how easy it was. How easy it was. And it's just not that easy. And I just feel like if she had done one house, maybe even 2 houses. Also, I think she tried to, I think I told y'all this before. When I first bought my house, I got my house as a foreclosure. And it hadn't been updated. My house, there's still stuff I want to do to my house. My house had not been updated since it had been built. And I remember when I first bought my house, I was like, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. Oh, and I want to do that. And like I had all of these great ideas, right, for what I wanted to do with my house. And I remember a friend of mine saying to me who had done real estate. She's not a practicing real estate agent now, but she had taken the classes and she had gone through the whole process. She said, don't outprice yourself. And I was like, what you talking about? I was like, what do you mean? She said, don't do so much work and put so much money into the house that you exceed the neighborhood. So when you try to sell it, you're not going to get any, you're not going to get back what you put in. So in other words, like, yeah, upgrade the bathroom, but don't try to make it look like, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You don't live in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills neighborhood. You can make it look nice on a budget and not outprice yourself. Y'all know what I'm saying? Satra baby, am I saying it wrong? Satra Del Rey 360. Can I just say Satra? I know I fucked that up. But thank you for the super chat. Really be Angela should have given Charles a heads up about Marcus' attendance. I was disappointed in her for blindsiding Charles. Okay, you jumped ahead of me, baby, but that's what I was going to say. We're going to come back to it. Thank you for the super chat, baby. We're going to come back to it. Because I agree. That's the only thing I think she did wrong. We're going to get to it. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it. So she sat down with her therapist, honey, and she, they talked about it. And I thought this was a real moment, and I was here for it. And again, thank you, Angela Oakley, for probably being the most transparent out of everybody this season. I hope the thing I hope is that she don't come back next season and be on something different. I just hope she don't come back and be on something different. You know what I mean? Yes, but she also want what I want, so I built a gym and movie theater in my town home. Listen, I'm just saying I think that's what she did in this situation with those houses. I'm not saying don't make your home a home. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that because, baby, it's still some stuff that I want to do to my house, but I just think, I was a new homeowner. I was excited, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to do. And my friend was like, hey, hold on. Oh, slow down. You slow down. But anyway, moving right along. So then we have was Shamea next? Shamea had her listening party. So let me say this. This is what I hate sometimes with people. Shamea can sing. Period. Shamea can sing. Period. I understand that when another singer is listening to a singer and that other singer has issues with that other singer, that is going to be some pettiness. So when Drew was like critiquing Shamea and making it seem like Shamea wasn't all that, blah, 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 I had to remember that Shamea and Drew have been going at it all season, and Drew is just going to be shady. I wasn't in the room. I wasn't in the room, but I will say that the girl can sing. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is some people can sing and some people can sing. There is a difference. Being able to sing and being able to sing, two different things. I do feel like, though, that Shamea is doing the right thing. Bet on yourself, baby girl. What Shamea said about the music industry being different these days and how she can take this platform and take her increased number of social media following and parlay that into a successful music career, she is absolutely correct. You don't need to get a major thank you. Yes to opening the panel. Yes, donate to opening the panel. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki B. She did exactly what she's supposed, especially when you have the money to finance yourself. Girl, have yourself a showcase. Invite the people. Get it on a national television show. Drop those singles. Shamea, she disappointed me in a lot of ways this season, but on this one, she didn't. Shamea, Yeah, now I feel like you should have dropped your album tonight. I feel like the finale now, and she may have, because I haven't been on social media, so I don't know what she has or hasn't done. But yeah, that's a good question. Did they sit and wait for her to do a costume change after every song? Now that was a bit much. If that's how that went down, now that would have been a bit much. I love the piano moment. I love a musician that can play an instrument. I love a piano moment. So my comment about the homes is gonna be ignored by really be child Cajun. I don't even pay attention. I didn't even mean to read that out loud. Anyway, but I thought it was a moment, and I love the fact that you did it, okay, and you putting your money in the right place. Now drop that album. The album needs to drop before the reunion. It really should have dropped tonight. I know she dropped a couple of singles, but the whole album should really have dropped tonight. But certainly before next Monday. Okay. If Shamea was smart, she would have done a song with Drew instead of Shane Drew. You know what? Greek son, you right. Greek son, you are so right. You right. You are right. She should have. I agree. They should have done a duet. And then they could have sang a duet at the reunion instead of making us sit through that cringy ass song that Drew did last season in front of Ralph. Then you could have really stunned on them hoes, and you and Drew could have done a whole song together at the reunion. Y'all know Andy would have done it. Y'all know Andy would have let them girls sing that damn song. Now, what we also found out that night was that Cynthia, let me tell y'all something else. Cynthia, as a friend of, is giving me what I need as well. Cynthia last season as a friend of did very well. Cynthia this season as a friend of, other than them wigs that she was wearing in them first couple of episodes where I didn't understand I felt like she was trolling us with them ugly ass wigs. But baby, yes, Porsha would have lost her mind. I didn't even think about the Porsha part of it. Yes. Let me tell y'all something. Cynthia carrying that bone backstage to Shamea saying, hey, girl, hey, I don't know what you know and what you don't know, but let me tell you what happened. When we was over to Britt Edie's house last week, baby, Britt said that you still talk shit about Porsha. And that might be kind of why you might be getting the cold shoulder from Porsha. So I just want to put you up on game and let you know how it went down and what had happened, and so you can address it accordingly. Now, let me say this. Shamea, baby, come here. Shamea, come here. Come here. Shamea, girl, listen. Do I think that Britt was being shady, and do I feel like the information Britt carried back to Porsha happened before you and Porsha's conversation? Yes, I do. I do not believe you continue to talk shit about Porsha, especially to Britt, after you and Porsha had y'all conversation. However, I absolutely believe you said it. I do. When people lie and they get real specific about shit, that makes me question it. I mean, not question, that makes me think, because the text messages is what did it for me. And the fact that Porsha was like, I did share that information with Shamea, and it wasn't my attorney, it was actually my therapist, but I did share that information with Shamea. I absolutely believe that the three of y'all got drunk and y'all got to run in y'all's mouth. And I do believe you said some stuff that you shouldn't have said, and you showed them text message. I absolutely believe that happened. But I also believe it happened prior to. So I think both of y'all were wrong. Because I believe you said it, but I also think Britt was being sneaky about misrepresenting the timeline to Porsha. And I'm gonna be honest, I understand Porsha not even addressing it and just moving. First of all, she did have the death of Londi come along. And listen, when you got, like I said, when real life meets reality TV, people can feel however they feel about Porsha, but I wouldn't have had the energy either. I'd have been like, girl, you got it. Fine. You got it. You got it. You know, you feel how you feel, fine. I got other stuff going on over here. Girl, you got it. You got it. But let me say this. Like she did with Angela and Drew. Like who did with Angela and Drew? Britt. Who you talking about? Britt? Let me say this. I don't condone violence. And I certainly don't condone violence as it relates to reality TV, you know, because I think we're all adults and things of such and things of that nature. But I'm going to say this. I also feel like violence is sometimes warranted. And I know everybody's not going to agree with me when I say that. I know everybody's not going to agree with me when I say that. But I also think that sometimes, you know, we all lose it sometimes. We all have a moment. Sometimes we all have an outer body experience. Let me explain something to y'all. Shamea, you better than me. Because the minute Britt opens her mouth to speak my child's name and question whether my child was really sick or not, it would have been a flashback to Porsha dragging Kenya across that goddamn floor by her hair. I would have whooped the dog shit out of Britt Edie ass. I would have knocked her nose. She'd have been able to breathe out of that nose again by the time I got done with her. The minute she said, well, what about your daughter? I mean, we got back to Miami. She was so sick. She wouldn't have got nothing else out of her mouth. Nothing else would have gotten out of her mouth. Which would mean she didn't say anything wrong. Well, I mean, you can feel how you feel, but I feel like regardless of what Shamea did when they got back to Miami, that's not your business. And for you to question whether my child, the child that I have that has all of these very well documented medical issues, for you to question whether my child was really sick, like I was using it as a storyline. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that I agree. I ain't even saying that I agree. I'm just saying you can talk about a lot of shit, but don't do that. Don't do that. Now, we did all question the story. I say we all. I'm not gonna include y'all. I'm gonna say me. I did question the story. Not that I question whether that child is sick, but I was like, I don't understand. Like the story didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. But I would never throw that back at a parent in an argument. That's just me. Again, we all have different, I can't tell nobody how to fight, but I'm just telling you, there would have been consequences to you fighting that way with me. You understand what I'm saying? I can't tell nobody how to fight. That's like freedom of speech. You have a right to say whatever it is you want to say. You're absolutely correct. You have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of consequence. And the consequence to Britt Edie bringing up my child in that moment, it would have been one. But like I said, Shamea, you a better one than me. And I feel like Shamea got home and thought about it and it pissed her off because she couldn't wait to bring it up the next time she was around her ass. Angela said that she bought the properties portfolio from a foreign investor and the investor in Bill. Okay, thank you, boo. That makes a lot more sense. Thank you, Satra. Thank you. That makes sense. Fast knots on Britt. She was questioning her parenting. Britt is so hateful. Shamea has been saying Britt called her baby the R word. I didn't see or hear that. They may have edited that out. Although they didn't. I don't know, Nikki. I agree. Now, I do think what Britt said is very different than calling somebody the R word. Those are two different things. That is a very different thing. And they may have edited out because the R word is such a slur, but hell, they didn't edit out what she said about Kelly last week. So I don't know. We're gonna find out at the reunion because I'm sure it comes up. Well, no, Britt wasn't at the reunion, so maybe not. Shit. I was gonna say I'm sure it comes up at the reunion, but hell, Britt wasn't at the reunion, so I guess not. Anyway. Meanwhile, the husband called her. Is Britt saying she told her husband to call? Meanwhile, the husband called her. Child, the husband called. We saw a conversation where her mom, like, the room would have turned red, and when I came to, there would have been Britt chalk line on the floor. But we all question Shamea's baby being sick. Like I said, I agree. We question the story. I ain't gonna say I didn't question her daughter being sick. I questioned how it happened. The story didn't make sense to me about her being cold and the nurse was cold. And the story didn't make sense. I believe the baby was sick. Now I do believe the baby was sick. The story of how it happened didn't make no sense to me. But again, I say I would have never used it in an argument with somebody. Like, I'm reviewing the show. I'm questioning what made sense with the show. But if me and Shamea got into an argument, I would never throw that in Shamea's face. I just would never. That's me, though. I can't tell somebody else how to fight. I could just say there'll be a consequence to how you choose to fight. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me read a couple more comments and then we're going to get back with it. Hold on. Life with Cricket. Hold on. Let me read because Kevin said, I agree with you. Let me read what it said. I see what you mean. I was thinking it was more Shamea's parenting priorities. I think that's how she meant it, but I don't know. I'm just telling me. I'm just saying me. Okay, hold on. Let me read hold on. Let me read a few more. I didn't question Shamea's baby being sick. I questioned the common sense. You know what? There you go, Cyber Diva. I think that's where I am with it. Because the story just didn't make no damn sense to me. And if it don't make sense to me, y'all know how I feel when it don't make sense. So anyway, okay. So let's get back into it. So that happened at the listening party, with Shamea and Britt getting into it. Now, Britt, girl, you filming these scenes and all this expensive shit that we know your ass ain't never gonna get. Why y'all film this scene in this private jet? Girl, you ain't a bit more about to buy a private jet than the man in the moon. Maybe, just maybe you was gonna do one of them little like rent private jet time with like a timeshare kind of thing, like what Simon was doing, and how his ass ended up owing all that money to that company. But baby girl, that was just like you filming them scenes in that, what was that, a Ferrari or a Porsche that she filmed a couple of weeks ago, just like you pushing that Porsche, baby. I mean that Rolls Royce. Now I'm thinking that Rolls Royce was rented for the season. Girl, bye. We have a nothing scene with Kelly and her daughters making breakfast. Don't care. Don't care. Kelly is still trying to get divorced, and she doesn't want to open up the new location because if she opens up the business, that becomes part of the divorce, and that gets very complicated. I understand. That's understandable. Then we have Drew and Ralph. This was, again, a throwaway nothing scene. This whole scene was bullshit. This was a whole bullshit scene. Because number one, we know that her and Ralph are still not playing fair. They still all in the blogs telling each other's business. But this whole scene with Ralph talking about, because the judge is stopping me from being able to see my kids Monday through Friday. And Drew was like, you literally can't ask me if you want to see your kids. Like, I would never stop you from seeing your kids. There's just a schedule in place. Well, I mean, we made all these rules while we were a married couple, and now we have to do the rules as a divorced couple. Sir, like, both of y'all are exhausting me. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to put some grease on my scalp. That is itching. Anyway, both of y'all are exhausting me. Both of y'all are exhausting me, and I don't care. So this again, I guess this was supposed to be like a wrap-up scene for this divorce, and we know that they have been acting a fool in the blogs, so don't care. Britt said they were going on vacation. Remember, she met her husband as a high incline and married him. No shade. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, I don't know what her husband does for a living. I don't know how much money her husband has, but I don't care. I don't believe nothing about this. Then we got this throwaway scene with Phaedra and her boyfriend, the guy she met on Married to Medicine. They go to the vineyard. She's talking about you believe this? A vineyard in Georgia? Baby, Georgia has a lot of vineyards, Porsha, Phaedra. It's not just one. There are multiple vineyards in the state of Georgia. Anyway, she invites him to come to the gala with her. She said they've been dating for 4 months. She said she's not interested in getting married again. She's enjoying life. She's very happy. Yada, 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 child. Don't care. Then we have this. Look, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Britt and her family and her husband's family are getting together. Britt, you have been trying to make this a storyline all season, the whole family thing. And at this point, none of us care. But even if we still cared, your story makes no sense. You showed us earlier in the season, you with Michael's family bitching about your family. Then we saw you meet with your sister, and your sister bitched about the fact that you stopped spending time with the family because you were always with your husband. Then you told a story that didn't make sense about the insurance company being that you and your sister started it, but then you decided to sell it and you had to fire another sister. I don't know how you firing somebody if the three of y'all own something together. And then you said you sold it and your sister stopped speaking to you because you sold it. But I don't know how you sell something if the three of us own it together. But then when we talked to your sister didn't say shit about that insurance company. Your sister said that you stopped spending time with her to be all up your husband's ass. Then the other sister was yelling at the mama about grief and how everybody's grieving differently and how everybody is grieving. So, girl, none of those stories make no damn sense. And then you sat there and said, well, me and Michael got married during COVID. So the families haven't had a chance to be together. Girl, COVID was 5 years ago. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Girl, COVID was 5 years, long enough for y'all to have a family dinner. Girl, you act like, girl, you said that like COVID was last week. Girl, literally the graduating class that just happened at the school where I teach, that was the first class that came back after COVID. They graduated, meaning we've been back at school full time for at least 4 years. Girl, if we have had time to fully matriculate a whole high school class, you have had time to have a family dinner. Don't care. Moving right along. And quiet as it's kept, Georgia ain't never cared about no COVID, so they could have been. Vanity said, quiet as it's kept, child, they didn't care nothing about no COVID. Child, you ain't said nothing else about this damn ceremony all season. We saw one scene with you and Kelly was supposed to be helping you plan the ceremony, and we haven't seen you meet with a planner. We haven't seen you look at venues. We haven't seen you do none of that shit. See, you can't even keep your own storylines together. You can't even keep your own storylines together. Child, moving right along. So then we get to the gala. Listen, shout out to Charles Oakley and Angela Oakley for a foundation that you started in 2016. So again, this wasn't for the show. This wasn't no bullshit you was doing just for the reality TV of it all. This is a foundation that you and your husband have started, and you and your husband have been feeding families for years. Your husband said y'all have gone to Skid Row. Your husband said that y'all have gone into high schools, and y'all goal is to make sure that every child eats. I got to give a shout out for that, because we see so many of these reality shows. They do shit just for the show, or they just started it the day of the show, or whatever the situation is. But here's something that has been going on that they have been doing. They said during the Super Bowl, y'all know the Super Bowl was in Atlanta. Was it last year? No, last year was in New Orleans. So the year before last, it was in Atlanta. And they said they fed however many families during Super Bowl week. I have to give a shout out for that. Okay. They are having their gala. And so the ladies are all there. All the ladies were invited. The gala looked really nice, y'all. The gala looked really nice. I love how they gave out those awards. And listen, even though I feel like this was something they did for the purposes of the show, I still want to give them a shout out for giving Porsha the award for her and Londi, because we know that Londi does work with the Hosea Williams Foundation. And we know that the Hosea Williams Foundation, again, it is a very well-established pantry food bank in the city of Atlanta. So I definitely want to give a shout out. Again, I'm sure they did that as, part of the show, but it wasn't like they pulled it out their ass. They didn't pull it out their ass. It was very much it was very much a needed thing, right? Now, Porsha said, listen, I don't have the energy for Shamea tonight. If she has good energy, I'm gonna have good energy. I have too many other things going on to be worried about Shamea and what Shamea said, what she didn't say, and who she said it to. And if she, on good behavior, I'm gonna be on good behavior. And she was, and when she had her moment and she broke down, the ladies went to the bathroom, and I felt that. I did. I felt that. I don't think it was being hyperbolic. I don't think it was extra. I don't think it was overacting. I don't think Porsha was being extra. I think that it was, I think that it was very real. I think it was a very, very real moment. Britt had to let Porsha know, though, I think Shamea is mad at me. And that's when Cynthia was like, look, girl, I told her because I felt like she needed to know. I wouldn't want to be blindsided, so I didn't want her to be blindsided. And Porsha was a little irritated by it, and Cynthia was like, well, my bad. If I overstepped, my bad. But I don't feel like she overstepped. I feel like Cynthia did what needed to be done. I feel like Cynthia was doing her friend of bone carrying. I feel like she did a good job. Okay. I have volunteered for Hosea Williams when I lived in Georgia. Y'all know I told a lie. And I have to say this to y'all. And for the people who've been rocking with me for a long time, y'all are going to remember me saying this. I told a lie. I ain't telling on purpose, but let me tell y'all what I said. I said that the next time I went to Atlanta, I was going to go to the Hosea Williams pantry and I was going to make a donation. And I have been to Atlanta, I think at least twice since I said that. And I didn't do it either time. So charge it to my head, not my heart. I still would like to go by there in person and make a donation. When we saw it on Porsha's show, I honestly was really, really, first of all, I know who Hosea Williams is. as a study of history, as a studier. I don't know if that's the right word, child, but anyway, a scholar of history. I knew who Hosea Williams was before the show, right? And I said I was going to do it, y'all. And honestly, I really just forgot. That is just the facts. I don't have an excuse. I don't have nothing. I forgot. But I still would like to very much do it. So I have to put that on my agenda. I don't know the next time I'm going to Atlanta. I may be going at some point this summer because the Whether You Like It or Not panel is trying to all get together in the same city and see each other and do some things. So I may be there this summer, but I'm going to try my best to get Abby, Tracy, somebody remind me, because my intention is there. My heart is there, and I really do want to go past there. And I really want to make an in-person donation. Anyway, that's where I want to go, K-Smile. I want to go to the warehouse, and I want to do, and I don't have a lot, y'all. Y'all know I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot, but I do want to go and in person make a donation. All right, now, somebody said, what does Shamea have on? Let me tell y'all something. I'm tired of trying to figure out Shamea and her fashion choices. She came up in there looking like Little Black Riding Hood, and I just couldn't do nothing with that. I don't, listen, at a certain point, you just can't tell people that they just look, Shamea proves the point that you can have all the money in the world, and if you just don't have no fashion sense, you just don't have no fashion sense. Let me tell you something. I don't have no fashion sense. Y'all know I'm comfortable in my t-shirt and jeans and shorts or whatever. Y'all know I'm not a fashionista, and I know that about myself. So when it's time for me to really get an outfit for a certain occasion or something like that, baby, I always ask. I ask for advice. I ask, how do I look? I ask, what does it... Baby, I do that. Okay? I do that because I know that I am no fashionista. And if I had Shamea's money, baby, I would have the best, baby, I would have La Roche on standby. Okay? I would have probably one of the best stylists that on standby. And I mean that with all the sincerity. And I'm sure there are a million other stylists that y'all know about that I just don't know. La Roche is the first person that popped in my head. But baby, who styles Cardi B? Okay. Who else do I like? Because I don't care what nobody say. I think Cardi did a little too much with the plastic surgery, but baby, Cardi be dressed. Whoever be dressing Cardi, baby, Cardi be dressed. Rihanna's another one. I love Rihanna's style. She has a very eclectic like style. Michelle Obama. Yes. You know, I would definitely when you have that kind of money, there's no excuse to look a mess. You're just choosing to at that point. In my opinion, you're just choosing to look a mess at that point. I mean, some people think you just put on a bunch of labels and it's cute. And that's just not. Colin Carter is Cardi stylist. Well, Colin, I love Cardi style. I love it. Thank you for letting me know. Zendaya, that's La Roche style Zendaya. Yes. Thank you. The Boss Baby Awards outfit, that was a custom-made outfit by Treasure Lane, aka Spilly Boy, aka James Caldwell. He's a YouTuber. He made that for me. Thank you so much. I don't know about that, Tan. I ain't always. Now let me tell you something. I'm not always crazy about what Candy wears, but I do agree that Candy, it usually looks good on Candy. I'm just not always crazy about what Candy wears, but it does fit her. I will say that she looks nice. Okay. Steve Sanders wears Louis Vuitton perfectly. You and that damn Louis. You love you some Louis, child. Y'all, Cajun, don't let Cajun fool you, y'all. Cajun is a Louis boy, honey. Lately, Candy has definitely looked a lot better. She definitely has looked a lot better. But I ain't always agree. But I mean, who am I? One person. Okay, moving right along. Now, I know some people were saying, why would Angela do this at her event? Yada yada yada. Let me say a couple of things. We're still filming a show. I think Angela took a real event that was already scheduled and made it an event. Y'all know how these reality shows go, y'all. I'm gonna be done in about 15 minutes, and I'll drop the link for a few minutes, y'all. If y'all want to come up and tell me what y'all think about this Porsha thing, or just the season as a whole. I'll let y'all sound off for about 30 minutes. We are still filming a show, y'all. And y'all know on these reality shows, these ladies have to do events. They have to have events. That's why they come up with these dumb events, these crazy names, these stupid things, because they have to film events. So I feel like Angela was like, I'm going to get a 2-for-1. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this gala, that's already on the books. It's already scheduled, and boom, boom, bam, I'm good, right? I think the situation with Charles happened at the end of the season, and they were trying to get it all in. This was the finale. This was the end of filming, or towards the end of filming. And I feel like production probably told her, "Girl, we're not filming a whole nother scene just for you to bring this together. So the event was over. So I want people to understand that the event was not still happening while they were doing this. Maybe the event was done. Probably most people had gone, and y'all know at these events, they always have to have a moment where they're going to sit around and talk, right? That is what that moment was. I honestly feel like the only mistake, in my opinion, that Angela made in that moment was not telling Charles. I think the whole reveal lost some momentum when Charles saw him and reacted the way he did. I wish that Angela would have said, Charles, listen, this is what happened. I met with Marcus. This is what Marcus told me. I'm bringing him to the gala so I can confront him with the ladies, because I know all the ladies going to be there, and so we can have a whole moment. That is what I feel like. Charles was absolutely correct in his response. Charles's response, in my opinion, is the way his response was supposed to be. He was supposed to feel some kind of way about this man having the audacity to walk up in his event. Absolutely, he was supposed to feel some kind of way about that. So that, in my opinion, push that aside. That's where I feel like, Angela, you fumbled the ball, because that took away from the whole moment, right? That took away from the moment. But, and Angela, you know your husband. You already know your husband don't care about that TV shit. You know how he feel about it. Somebody must have pulled Charles aside because that was edited, right? Somebody must have pulled Charles aside, because when Charles said, "You lucky," he was like, "You real lucky." I feel like production must have pulled him aside and said, "Listen, bruh, boom, 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 bam, 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 yada, yada, yada." And Charles was like, "All right, let's get me the hell out of here." He was like, "Unmic me, let me go to hell home. I don't care nothing about this TV shit." But when he hit them, when he hit old boy with "You lucky," I knew then somebody had in Charles's ear. I really feel like they in his ear, because when they cut that thing up, and next thing you know, Charles had calmed down and he hit him with the "You lucky." I said, They said Charles had a situation during the season. Well, what situation? There could be a lot of interpretations to that term, the situation. Exactly. Is it this MLC BMG? Baby, I'm sorry, y'all. Can I say this? If you don't like that, then let me know. But I agree. Charles would definitely not have gone along with that. I feel like Charles would have been like, cleared out, whatever. But moving right along, let's get back to this situation at hand. Because here's another reason why they were filming the scene, because everybody was standing on the perimeter while those ladies were filming. You saw Che in the background. You saw Kelly's stylist, who she went to the event with, in the background. They were all standing back waiting for the cameras to film this moment. So you could tell the event was over and everybody was just standing around waiting for them to be done. So, I understand what people are saying. Why would she do it at her event? Baby, that event was over. They might have filmed this scene at 12 o'clock at night. That event was over. And clearly Marcus was not at that event, because had Charles seen Marcus early on that actually was at the event, baby, what we saw would have happened already. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get back to what had happened. Let's get back to how this thing broke down. Angela, again, like I started off at the beginning, this moment was anticlimactic because all of us have been watching the blogs all week, and we already know that you thought Phaedra did it, and you have dropped your receipts. Now, she tried to be like, well, Kelly, I thought it was interesting that it happened at your event. And then I said, well, Britt, maybe it was you, because, me and you have had our moments this season. But the person that really came from, dun, 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 Phaedra. Now, listen, Angela, can I be honest with you, girl? Listen, you also lost momentum with this whole Phaedra is the godmother of Atlanta. I mean, I know that was Marcus being dramatic, right? But listen, this is what I need from y'all. And I get it. Y'all were creating a moment. I understand. But this is what I need from y'all. I needed y'all to just give me the receipts. All that you said in your confessional about, well, Phaedra was the one that called me and told me his full government name. Phaedra was the one that told me where he worked. Like, all of that you giving us, listen, I didn't need all the dramaticals. I didn't need all of the dramaticals. I just needed the facts, okay? And at the end of the day, the people who rock with Phaedra are going to believe Phaedra. The people who don't like Phaedra or rocking with Angela are going to believe Angela. And honestly, it's really just up to everybody else's interpretation of what people believe, right? Now, let me say this. If I'm being honest, I do believe somebody sent that man. And I believe it was somebody on that cast that sent that man. But a part of me is thinking, is Phaedra this fucking sloppy? Like, part of me is really thinking, is Phaedra this sloppy? Because let's think about it. Phaedra met the man in person and handed him an envelope. What the hell was in the envelope? What was in the envelope? Like, what was in this envelope that she handed him? He did not have one of Mike, y'all. Stop saying that. That man was not mic'd at that event. He was not mic'd. But that's number one. Number two. Why would Phaedra insert herself into the situation if she's guilty of the situation? Why would you give Angela a roadmap to him? And I'm Vanity, I wasn't fussing at you, but I'm just saying people keep saying that. But he wasn't mic'd. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't come off harsh. I didn't mean for it to. But he wasn't mic'd. Yeah, he wasn't. That's why if you go back and listen, if you go back and watch that scene where he was at the cooking event, they had to give him subtitles because he wasn't mic'd. When you could hear him clearly is because he was standing next to a housewife and he was getting picked up on their mic. Yeah. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but so, but then, so I was like, would Phaedra be that sloppy? But then I said to myself, baby, there's serial killers that be helping to look for the body. Have y'all not seen these shows where the person come up missing and the husband be on camera crying, talking about, oh my God, oh, I'm not going to stop until we find the person. And then it be them. Scott Peterson, that other guy that unalived his whole family and then hid them at his job. I don't know if y'all know that story, but he unalived his wife and his 2 kids, and he worked at like this mill, and they had like those silos with the grain and stuff in it, and baby, that's where they found the bodies, in the silos. I don't remember his name, but yeah, he was on camera talking about something. He ain't gonna stop until they find the person who did it. Chris Watts. Thank you, Tracy. That's him. Chris Watts. Thank you. Thank you, Chris Watts. So I was like, I can't say that because people do that crazy shit all the time, right? Let me say this. This is my opinion of the situation, and then I'm going to drop the link, and I'm going to let y'all sound off. Here's my opinion about the situation. I think Phaedra did it. Now, we also heard the audio. I don't know. Did y'all hear the audio from earlier this week? That Angela must have dropped the audio after that man tried to come down here and say that Phaedra didn't do it, and he was trying to clear Phaedra's name after Angela went on Carlos King and laid it all out. Did y'all hear when that man tried to come down here and say that he didn't do it? And then Angela dropped that audio of him clearly saying Phaedra sent him. And he was like, "Nah, she didn't pay me." And he was like, "Well," and he talked about how they were all connected. Did y'all? Okay, Kevin said he heard who? Did y'all hear the audio? Because if y'all ain't hear the audio, I'm about to go find it and play it for y'all. Did y'all hear that audio? Angela and Marcus' sister went to school. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to drop the link in a minute. Yes, and the audio sounded pieced together. Okay, hold on. I was trying to read what somebody just said. Angela and Marcus' sister went to school with Phaedra's brother. They are all from Athens. Yes, honey. Hold on. Okay, they said the envelope must have had the location, the information. One, a lawyer leaving a paper trail, ? Calling Angela and leading her to him, ? He didn't say Phaedra gave him the envelope. She was on Andy's show saying MIMS back 2 weeks after being bitched for 2 years. Saying Mims. Make it make sense. Oh, okay, make it make sense. Back 2 weeks. Yeah, after being benched. Now, that's the only thing. Okay, I'm going to play it for y'all. Now, that's the only thing that I did say. I was like, why would she put her job in jeopardy, a job she's been trying to get back? All right, I'm going to drop the link, y'all. I'm going to find the audio, and then I'm going to play the audio. I'm going to drop the link, and then I'm going to play the audio. I'm going to give us, let's see. Okay, we got about 30 minutes. Hold on, let me find the link. Let me find the link, honey. Let me find the audio. Hold on. I screenshotted the website so I could find it again. I just got to find it. Because I was out on vacation, honey. Here it is right here. It's from the Bravo Shade Room. So hold on. Let me pull up the Bravo Shade Room. And then I'm going to drop the link while I play the audio. Ooh, shit. Sorry. Right here, the Bravo Shade Room. Okay, here it is right here. So here's the leaked conversation. Hold on. Face call. No, nothing at all. Yeah. Did she pay you? Did she pay you? Or is it like, did she pay you to do it? Or is it just like, I just do this? Pay me? No, she ain't pay me. Oh, that was just messy. Messy. Angela, if it's one thing I'm gonna lie on this hill and tell you, bitch, you can call me messy because it was a messy gay moment. It was. And you can plot. Angela, if it's not one thing, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me is I'm very honest. Plot me on the messy gay moment because I was like, it was messy. It was so messy. It was so wrong and messy. And honestly, to be honest, I didn't even think anything was gonna come after it after security kicked me out of the wings and stuff. You say something to you. We'll say this, and this is all I'm gonna say. If cameras were rolling when Phaedra walked up to the event, she walked up to me and kissed
me on my cheek and whispered something in my ear. I don't know if they have that on camera, but I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay, and I will say, unfortunately for us, it was before she was mic'd. I will say this. Athens is a small town, girl. I know. I'm sure you know. It's a very small town, and everybody kind of knows everybody there, and everybody too also kind of protects everybody there. I get it. So I want you to still be in good graces with your family, but I still have to protect myself, and I want you to be protected. But I didn't lie on you, but you lied on me. So you have to just make it right. And I did. And I want you to understand, I truly meant that apology I gave you the other day. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even eat for like 24 hours, Angela. I felt disgusted that happened. Mm-hmm. And so what was it like? Was it a phone call? Like, hey, I need you to meet me here? Because how did it come about? And I know at the table you said, well, you know how this goes. I truly don't. I don't know how this works. I don't know how. Athens is a small town, girl.
Okay, so those are the clips that were dropped. Again, he was very specific in saying, listen, if you go back and remember what happened, when I got there, Phaedra walked up to me and she whispered something in my ear. He was like, that was before you guys were mic'd, and I don't know if they got it on camera or not. So again, I feel like he's sort of giving information to confirm what he's saying. That doesn't mean he's not lying. I mean, maybe Phaedra just recognized him and was like, hey, I know you. How you doing? It could have been something very simple or something very innocent as that. Last but not least, first of all, welcome, Phil. Welcome, Lovely Soul. Welcome back. Give me 2 seconds and then I'm going to give y'all the floor. The last part of this episode, baby Porsha could not wait to film herself in that damn house. She couldn't film all season. And the final episode, we get a clip of her walking through that damn house. Baby, she could not wait to let us see that damn house. But anyway, Phil, you were here first, then Lovely Soul, and then Bap. What you got to say, sir? What you have to say, Phil?
Good evening, everyone. Greetings from work. Y'all in trouble tonight because me and Willie B are in sync. I agree with y'all. Better watch out. I agree with everything Willie B said. Phaedra works in conjunction with production, and if she really be like,
sorry, go ahead.
Like you just said, Phaedra could have recognized him, but why when she called the ladies, why didn't she say, oh, a boy named Marcus came up to Angela and said X, Y, and Z. I don't trust Phaedra. I think she did it. The Oakleys are the MVPs of this season. I've always seen it for Angela once she said she was from Chicago. So I've been on that train once she admitted she was from Chicago. Shamea is a waste. Beautiful, but a waste. Kelly can go. And I think the issue is not so much the girls. It's really with production because Kelly has a story too about her being a mother and an entrepreneur that we saw in the last episode, which didn't make sense. As far for Britt, I'm disappointed in Britt more and more and more. Oh, I have to disagree with you, Willie B, and I've been waiting to say this to you. I know you said that we shouldn't tell people how much to give to charity, and I agree with you. But my only issue with Britt giving $250 to Grenada, I wonder how much she spent at the Balmain charity event, because everybody's donation should have matched what they spent at the Balmain event.
Why?
Why? Why? Because it's two charity events, and one is for one, and another one is for people of color. And for me, it's just a personal issue. Love you. We got to disagree on something. I can't give you too much.
No, I just want to know why. You have a right to feel how you feel. I just want to know why you said that. Okay.
Yeah, because y'all giving to for me when I look at Black Housewives and y'all doing charity events, especially for people of color, they shall always give their best, and that's just a personal thing for me. But I'm mad at Britt because I like the way Britt handles conflict. She doesn't shy away from conflict when it's natural. when she did all of this forced conflict with Kenya and Angela, it came across as, you being thirsty and doing too much. I think she's a punk for skipping out on a reunion. I don't care about her or that wax stylist. He blocked me on Twitter, but Brit is just a waste. Fire production. I want a
Yeah,
new
what you
production
doing down
company.
there getting blocked now?
Because I said, why is she trying to drop a reunion look? You didn't go. If she hadn't gone, if she went to the reunion, Britt would have kept that job easily. You
Wait a
giving up?
minute. Wait a minute. She dropped her reunion look, and she
No,
see
she's
y'all
going to drop a reunion
telling me
look.
this stuff. Child, bye. Moving right
She's
along.
going to drop a reunion look. She hasn't done it yet, but she's supposed to. Well, she or he is going to drop her reunion look. So, but that's all I got for now.
Okay, thanks, boo. All right. Lovely soul, you were next, then Bap, then Nikki, then colorful flowers. And welcome everybody. Welcome. Okay, go ahead. Lovely soul boo.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I just wanted to say just a couple things in regards to the judgment of Shamea being Grenada when her baby was sick. Oh, there's a lot that plays into that, and I didn't go in to judge her on her parenting skills because when you have a child that has special needs, it's draining. It's a lot. Your mind is always racing. So whenever you can
Mm-hmm.
get a break at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody could say, well, if that was my child, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. Well, it wasn't your child, it's her
Mm.
child.
Mm.
She's tending to those needs of her. If it was very imperative for her to hop on an emergency flight, I'm sure Shamea would have got on that flight. Her husband had everything under control. And one thing, when you have a family with a child with special needs, it takes a team.
Mm-hmm.
And for the mother of that child to feel secure enough to leave the country, knowing that something could possibly happen, that takes time. And we don't know how
Mm-hmm.
long it's taken Shamea to get comfortable to be able to do that.
True.
And in regards to Britt Edie, like, look, that's she and Phaedra are on the wrong show. Phaedra is
Mm.
just messy. She's just messy. And is it just me or is she getting more tackier every year?
She definitely is getting tackier. I agree.
It's like it's like
All that
she's
licking out
trying
her
to fit
tongue and ugh. Yeah, I agree.
and the clothing and you know, I'm not trying to sound judgmental here, but a woman of her age, the things that she wears, those are the things that you see these women's in their mid 20s, early 30s wearing. Like
You think she
chick
going through like a midlife crisis kind of thing? Like she grew up a
trying to get
PK
attention.
and trying
Yeah.
to live a certain way, and now she just letting it all out.
And being so nasty all the time. Like
Mm.
always wanting to it's just kind of it's giving purdish kind of to be
Oh,
honest. And
okay.
yeah, I believe and I honestly believe that she did do that to Angela. And it's her MO. If you look at it, it went down the same way with the whole thing with Candy and Portia. And she just brings mess. And that's why she couldn't survive on Married to Medicine, because them girls will eat her alive.
They did eat her alive. That's why she left, child.
And it just, but in Angela Oakley, I completely agree with you. She is the woman. She is Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, far as Kelly, I know Kelly going through her things. I think that Kelly Kelly's got some underlying trauma that she's got to deal with in
Mm.
reality. And who else? Who else? Cynthia, that's my girl. There you go, friend of. She's in the perfect position.
I
Perfect
agree.
position. She ain't too much in the mix and up front. She's like that auntie off on the side who looking and watching, and she watching the train wreck coming. She gonna sit there and she gonna watch it happen. That's just
Okay.
because they don't want to listen to nobody. They don't want to learn. They don't want to listen to these veterans. So hey, do you do? But other than that, I mean, and Shamia, I think. Shamea came out the gate trying too hard. Um, I would have liked to see more of her family dynamics, and I would have liked to see, um, we saw Kelly's dynamics, but all the shade coming from Britt, I feel like it's jealousy. She don't
Mm,
have kids. Why would you mention this woman's kids and what you think she should have did when you don't even got no kids yourself, lady? Like it's like her whole storyline was a flop. The whole thing started behind what? The second ring? The second
right.
ring? Oh, we didn't announce your second ring. That's what got it all that showboating is what got her in that situation that she was in. And now you want to tuck your tail and run. Like, but she wasn't, I think that she wasn't a good fit for the show. And bringing Phaedra back was the ultimate bomb. Like
I agree.
they should have left her in them shark infested waters she was in.
Okay,
Left
let
her
her
because
sink or swim over there with them women. I agree.
listen,
I
because
agree.
she needed a lesson taught to her, and she ran before that lesson get taught to her. That's what the problem is. That is what the problem with her. Because Elaine would have eat her up. But it's no here, no there. But I think for the most part, it was a good season. It was a lot of twists and turns, especially with everything with Kenya and Britt, and now you got this whole thing with Angela and Phaedra, and then Portia versus Shamea, and then poor Drew. Poor Drew.
Child.
Like it's a hot mess. But I'm interested to see who they're gonna bring back for next season. Very interested to
Okay.
see.
All right. Well, thank you so
All right. Well,
much, Bat. What's up, boo?
Hey, yeah. As far as my thoughts for the season overall, I think it was more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that. Britt, I think she I don't really think that she made like a misstep not coming back for the reunion. I think she went for the bigger bag, and I don't think that that's necessarily unintelligent. Shamea is the liar that people think that Drew is. Her and Porsha friends for a reason, and I
Mm,
think her being full time on the show showed that.
mm.
Um, Porsha, I don't even know how to. Porsha for this season just been kind of disappointing. Um, who else? Kelly exposed herself to be a follower, so I don't really have the patience for her. Angela definitely earned a permanent spot on the show if they bring it back. Um, and then as far as Phaedra, her coming back has definitely been a flop. I was almost looking forward to it because to me she's funny, but then it's just she hasn't been funny. She's just been nasty. I absolutely, as soon as they said what happened with Angela, as soon as they started to show it, I was like, this has Phaedra written all over it. And then you have the phone call basically that confirmed it. I 100% believe that Phaedra was behind that, and I wish she would have stayed off the show. That's
Gotcha.
about all I got.
Thanks, Bat Boo. All right. I think Nikki, you dropped off, but you back. Hold on. Let me acknowledge my super chat first. Thank you so much, Satra. Gerald needs to stop worrying and making Shamea feel guilty. Gerald's got a mom-in-law, 2 sister-in-laws, a nurse, a doctor, a caregiver, etc. I know that's right. I hear you, boo. All right. Nikki, and then Colorful Flowers.
Okay, hey y'all. First, I'm in Chicago, so the fireworks is some real hood shit going on. So if y'all hear my dog barking, I
I
apologize in
understand.
advance.
I
Oh my
understand.
goodness. All right, so I want to start. I'm probably gonna stay on Shamea. I don't know if y'all know this, but I can't stand her. So
Oh,
my issue is, and no, I'm not a mother. Before we start, I don't have any kids. I ain't got no nieces or nephews. I ain't got no gray hair neither. But I have an exceptional mother. Last week, I'm going to get coffee. I come down with food poisoning just like that. I'm 5 minutes away from their house. I went over there Friday. I didn't go home until Sunday. My parents took care of me. I'm 39 years old, by the way. I get my own spot. I do my own thing. I got a good job. I got my own money. My mother and my father took care of me. My mother would never in her right mind leave me or my siblings to go on a vacation. I understand it's a job. I understand it. Let's just take that out of it. What I'm saying is that I think to go on a vacation out of the country for about a week is too long for someone with a 2-year-old. We can take out the fact that she even has health complications. So I just watched, some of the episodes of Ashanti and Nelly. Ashanti finna lose her damn mind over leaving KK to go do this Motown, with, touchy hand Smokey. And Kenya, she had an all pair. Remember, that's why Kenya wouldn't film with Marlo no more, because Brooklyn was in that room when they were on vacation. Pilar would also be on vacation with Porsha on some of those cast trips with the nanny in the hotel room next door. And also, there is no excuse. The king of HVAC. First of all, I don't know anyone, unless you Miranda from and just like that you go in people's houses and start touching a thermostat. Also, I can control the temperature on my air conditioner, my window air conditioner in my apartment off my cell phone. You trying to tell me that the king of HVAC, scammer, that he can't control the temperature in his baby room? And also, y'all live in Atlanta, okay? It's summertime shy right now. Ain't no way in hell if I walk out and we'll just say moo and oink back when it was in the day. You know how it'd be ice cold in there? You walk out in the summertime and you step out for 2 seconds, your ass is gonna be hot as hell. That mama is a lie and the truth ain't in her. And that's the why Shamea's clothes didn't make it to Grenada, because the Bible, it wasn't blessed properly, because her and her mama full of shit. Both of them. And then another thing, I tell you something else. Britt was 100, and I don't like the girl. Britt was 100% correct. Let's be honest. We all know that one mama, or that is usually the mama, because we be girlfriends, and you always know that one trash ass mama. I'm not calling Shamea a trash ass mama, not far from it. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to hear, well, why is my baby being held back? Well, why is my baby this? Well, why is my baby that? Because you on vacation with me right now crying about it instead of putting on some jogging pants and getting your ass on a flight. If my husband calls me first of all, my mama there, what you calling me for? Then if my mama calls me, I'm on a flight. It's nothing that y'all can say to me at this point, because 2 responsible adults who have children, have had children, have money, have access to nannies and nurses, ain't no way that y'all should be calling me first the night before. Then you said, let's not forget, he said the nurse threw the baby. I got to get back to the States to catch my case. What you mean the nurse threw my baby? Everybody in that car heard it. You heard Cynthia. Cynthia is the queen of gasping. Remember when Lil Twirl died? Porsha, Cynthia, they all reacted in that car when Gerald said on the phone, she threw the baby. So yes, you can tell people, in my opinion, how to raise their children. That's called CPS. You absolutely can do that.
Okay, then. You better tell us how you really feel. Okay, thank you, Nikki.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. One last thing. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I just, I got some shit on my chest like Bernadette. I got to get it out my chest. Last thing, y'all. Shamea has shown me, she has made me, like, if this was like personal, this would make me feel like a damn fool, because it seems to me that Porsha has been handling Shamea like a friend this season and not the other way around. So first, that comment I made, Shamea, they showed the, footage that did make the, that ended up on the cutting room floor where she went allegedly having drinks with Angela and Drew. That's the same time that they said that she told them all to mess about Porsha. Now you got this episode, and production shows a clip of Britt, Shamea, and Kelly out having drinks at a restaurant like Britt was describing. Shamea can have the money, she can have the husband. That does not mean that you're not, want something that your friend has. This was Porsha's platform. If we gonna say that that Kelly should feel, a way about her stylist and her whole team, Porsha should absolutely feel away. Everybody got that cousin, that sibling, that one friend, that everything you do, here they come. You get this type of car, here they come with that type of car. You start going to that school, now they going to that school. It's not that I don't like you or love you and want to spend time with you, but can I have anything of my own? Damn. Okay, y'all. I'm done, and I appreciate the therapy session. I feel so much better now.
No problem, girl. No problem. Thanks for coming up. I dropped the link. That's it. I dropped the link that last time. So I'm gonna let Colorful Flowers speak. I'm gonna drop the link one more time. This is the final, this last call. Last call. All right. Thank you for your patience, Colorful Flowers. You've been waiting. Go ahead, sound off, boo.
Girl, I don't know what to say after that. But I'm feeling her. I'm definitely feeling her. I mean, because I've been saying Shamea was a snake. Ever since Shamea would come on, she would make like sly remarks like she did with Kenya when Kenya had that hair thing. She said Kenya stuff was water. She called out Eva with the alleged Missy Elliott, stuff like that. Um she always been saying slick shit I mean, like I said, when they went to Spain and Porsha left, Porsha sent her a text and told her, don't trust none of them there, not even Sheree. Why would you show that to Sheree? If this is my friend sending me a text, I'm not finna share with my friend that sent me to somebody else on the thing when I know that they're having problems with these people. Shamil always been a little sneaky and snaky to me. Now the thing is with I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with me, but with Phaedra, I don't think Phaedra did it. The reason why, when Phaedra do stuff to people, it's for a reason. She did that thing with Nene because Nene kept saying that she didn't know her and she was trying to prove that Nene knew her from Athens. Okay, she did the thing with Candy. Y'all need to go back. Somebody told her that. I'm not gonna call that person's name. And she related that message to Porsha. Now, Porsha was the one that came out and said that she heard. She never said that they was going to do it. She said, I heard this is what y'all was going to do. And the thing with her and Candy, they fell out because of the Apollo thing. So I mean, when the feds come into my house looking for stuff and it's at my friend's house, go over there. Don't come to my house if y'all got the stuff. I'm not gonna be held up for no stuff that he already left at y'all house. So yeah, I understand that. Phaedra do things when people been did things to her. And I'm not taking up for her. I'm just telling you how I see it when I watch the show. The reason why I don't think that she did it to Angela was because what grief she got with Angela. She just not coming back on the show is what I'm saying. And the thing, and I heard that text message, whatever that message that Angela had, and it wasn't even fitting together. If you go back and you hear both of them, because it's two messages. It's both of them. One of the guys said, "I don't know why she want me to say it's Phaedra. You knew it wasn't Phaedra." And when she coming in, she's saying, "Did she pay you? Did she, how much she paid you, or something like that?" That man say, "Well, she never paid me. Nobody ever paid me." And the thing I think it is, I think production is pushing this mess up because they want people to watch the reunion. They want people to be tuned in next season to see that Phaedra or Angela so and so did this happen. I think it's all set up by production. And then why are we giving these two men that we don't even know all this time? Like we don't even know who y'all are. So why are we even focusing on what they said about they seen the later husband cheating? Charles already been out there cheating, so that's not a surprise. I mean, come on, for real, Angela, she already know what type of man she got. You know your man cheat, girl. Be for real. Y'all work through it and all with the therapy. I get it, but you already know what Charles. Charles is a professional basketball player, and we can't find too many that stay with one home. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel. And like I said, I think it's production. They want us to be in tune to watch the reunion, to watch next season, just do this and do that. And the thing again with Shamea, Portia never said anything bad about Shamea on this season. It was Shamea that was going around talking to everybody, saying this how Portia treat me. If this is how Portia is treating you, why didn't you talk to Portia off screen, off the show, if y'all supposed to be buddies? So I don't know. Britt, feel sorry for you, girl, because you just came on and just flopped. But I don't think you would have flopped if you would have came to the reunion because you had a good stance. The thing with Kenya, The thing with Shamea, and like I said, the thing with Kelly. And Kelly's getting mad because the stylist left her to go be with Britt. Don't take it out on me. Take it out on them. I mean, come on. And what episode that we haven't seen Kelly wasn't toasted? So, I mean, Kelly got a lot of stuff going on. She got a lot of stuff going on that maybe she drinking so she can get through the problems or whatsoever. But that's how I see it. And I'm sorry for holding up y'all time, but that's how I feel. That's all I got.
You fine. You listen. You fine. I don't drop my link often, so I let people get it out, honey. I let y'all get it out. I'm listening. Because you make everybody's made some valid points. We don't all have to agree, but y'all are making some good points. I hear what y'all are saying. I did close the poll, and the poll was overwhelmingly 79% of the chat that voted said that they believe that Phaedra did it, and 20% said they didn't. So, I mean, listen, that don't mean it's true. That don't mean that Phaedra did it. But let me ask you a question, Colorful Flowers. If Phaedra didn't, if you don't believe Phaedra did it, who do you think did? You think it was just production set it up, or do you think somebody
I think
else
it's
on the
production
cast
setting
did
it
it?
up or something else.
Okay.
I really don't think, because you have to look at it this way. Yeah, Phaedra had did some sly stuff, but you got to go back and look at the stuff that Phaedra did. Phaedra did this stuff when somebody said something to her, and I know people saying she was coming on saying Angela is the oldest looking woman. Have y'all seen Phaedra in the confessional? Phaedra used to say that about everything. If you go back to those confessional, Phaedra said stuff about Kenyan confessionals. Phaedra always said slide and stick stuff in the confessional. But her saying that about Angela, that's not a surprise to me because that's how Phaedra do it. If you've been watching from season, I think she came on in season 2, or was it 3? I think she came on season 3. And if you watch how Phaedra been doing this, Phaedra always be sly and slick and funny in her confessionals. That's nothing new to me. Because I've been watching it from the beginning. That's nothing new to me. And like I said, she only do things when somebody being did something to her or she feel like they did something to her. Like I said with the Nene incident, she kept telling Nene, "You do know me," and then came to find out. Nene said, "Yeah, I know her from app." Okay, but you said you didn't know the girl. Because Phaedra was like, "You not know you know me, Nene," but Nene was like, "I don't know you, but you still knew her." That's what I'm saying, and that's why she was trying to bring her sisters on because she was trying to make Phaedra look like she was lying and that she was thirsty when Nene did know Phaedra. But anyway, that's how I get it. I really don't think it was Phaedra. Like I said, production is up to some sly stuff. Production knew that stuff about Kenya. They let Kenya did that because they was tired of Kenya and they let Kenya hung herself. Cause they seen it. Ain't no way. Cause Dusty could have edited all that out. But did they edit it out? No. The same thing with Porsha and Candace sitting out there talking. If they didn't want that on there, they could have edited that out as well. So, but then Candace came back and told people what Porsha had said. So, I mean, come on. Production be playing a lot of games. They be playing a lot of games. And the queen of the mess is Carlos King. He put a lot of stuff out there. But we'll see what happens. But I really don't think Phaedra did that. I really don't. But we'll see.
Okay. Okay. I listen. I hear you, babe. I hear you. Let me ask y'all one last question. And Phil, I know you still hanging out. I know you at work, but I'm gonna ask one last question. And the chat, I want to hear y'all's opinion too. Every time something has happened this season, right? Maybe every time is a stretch. A lot. Let me say a lot. A lot of you guys say production. So I want to ask this question. Do you guys distrust production as it relates to the Real Housewives of Atlanta with Truly Original? Is it that y'all don't trust Truly Original, or do y'all just not trust production as a whole when it comes to the Housewives shows, like all of them? Is it just Truly Original that does the Real
Truly
Housewives
Original.
of Atlanta? Okay, all right. Phil said it's Truly Original. Colorful Flowers. Is it just this production team, or do you feel that way across the board with the production on reality TV? Well, let me just
It's
keep it to the
all of it.
Housewives.
Production has to put stuff out there. I mean, because who's going to watch a show that's boring? So you got to
Okay.
do something to boost it up. Even when Nene first came on there, it was a thing about Nene was saying that Kim couldn't sing And all of them went back and told, and then Kim was talking whatsoever. And then when Candy came on, I think Candy wanted Nene's spot. I think she wanted to be the head of the show. And she was having conflict with Nene. Kenya came on now. She said that she was the star of the show. I mean, come on now. You have to realize production put a lot of stuff out there. And like I said, production was tired of Kenya. They could have edited that stuff out. They wanted Kenya gone, and that's the reason why they got rid of her. Because production know what they finna show before it shows. They could have edited it out. They could have did anything. They didn't want to edit it out. They wanted this drama there. They wanted it there. I mean, that's
Okay.
with all of it. They want all this stuff there. You go see all the other housewife shows. They want that drama there.
Okay. Bat,
So
what
that's
about you,
how I
boo?
see it.
Yeah, trust and production of a reality TV show aren't anything that I would ever put in the same sentence. However, however, I also think that it's somewhat of a cop out because those ladies, each of them, Kenya, if you want to say Phaedra, Candy, whoever in the world else, they all did the things that production showed. And so, production might have their hands in some places, but it's not as if these people are hapless victims either.
All right. So I'm gonna give my opinion, and I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys, we were at one point we were over 300 people in the room. We got about 260 now. I hope we have the likes to match it. So I want to thank y'all for being here. Y'all know I'm on summer break, so I can hang out a little bit longer and drop the link. Thank you guys for coming up. So let me say this: is what I'm gonna say about the production, and I think that was an interesting question. And I thank you guys for y'all's opinion as well. I think Truly Original has a bad reputation, right? Truly Original is the same production team that does Potomac. And I feel like their reputation has gone down across the board in the last couple of seasons as it relates to both of those shows, right? So that's why I wanted to ask whether it was just Truly Original or was it production in general. I will say this. I know that production has been has had their foot on the scale as it relates to some storylines in the past. But I think some things we can't blame production for. So for example, the Kenya thing, and I hear what you're saying, Colorful Flowers. I hear what you're saying. But the way I feel about it is if I were a production team on a reality TV show, I would be a fool to edit out what Kenya did. I would be a fool. That was ratings gold, right? What Kenya did was ratings gold. Now, the ramifications were bad. What Kenya did, distasteful. But I think them taking the whole thing out, in my opinion, from a production standpoint, would have been totally foolish. Now, I know a lot of people were trying to say that they felt like production put Kenya up to it, or production knew about it, or however that went down. So that's the reason why I asked the production question, because it's okay, Phil. I know where you are, baby. Hey, Don, hey, boo. Because I just feel like every time it's always production. And I just think we give production way too much credit. Sometimes. Not every time, because I know there are times when production is guilty. But I just feel like sometimes, y'all, we give production way too much credit. But that's just my opinion. I want to thank y'all for being here. Again, appreciate those of y'all that came up, those that have been hanging out in the chat. Do not forget that tomorrow night, the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be live and in full color. I believe tomorrow night, Josiah is hosting, so we'll be at a JoJo's house. And next week is my week. I'll be hosting the first week of the reunion. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of a schedule for the week over here on the Real House. I mean, Lord, I was going to say Real Housewives. I guess the Real Housewives will really be. But on the review channel, I cannot speak for the other channel right now because, baby, y'all know that's my celebrity news channel. So, baby, I got to get acclimated on what's been happening in the blogs all week and see what I feel like talking about. But over here, I can tell you guys, we got a lot going on. Just get your notifications set. If you are new here, Please subscribe and put your notifications on. Y'all know I got to get caught up. We have to get caught up on Divorced Sisters. We have to get caught up on the Next Generation. Why do I keep wanting to say Real Housewives? We got to get caught up on the Real Housewives of Miami. But I'm going to tell you a couple of other things we're going to review this week. I don't know what day, y'all. We got to get caught up on Beyond the Gates. I don't know what day, but I am going to look at so here's y'all's homework assignment. Here is y'all. No, I'm hosting. Raven, you are definitely the secretary. I know he did the reunion looks. Okay, so I'm hosting. Okay, cool. You know what? That's good then, because that means that everybody will get a chance. All right, cool. Well, I'm hosting tomorrow, so meet me back here tomorrow at 8:30-ish. Which is fine.
We'll be here.
Right. Meet me here, honey. We'll be here. Thank you, Raven. She is the secretary. Child, Raven is the official secretary of the Really Be TV. Okay. I am going to be watching. Here's your homework assignment for the week. I'm going to watch the Barbara Walters documentary, and at some point we're going to discuss that. I'm going to watch the Jane Mansfield documentary. Y'all know Mariska Hargitay. I hope I'm saying her name right. You know, Lieutenant Benson from Law and Order SVU. Jane Mansfield was like, you know, old Hollywood pinup. She that was her mom. So she just did a documentary. So we're going to be watching that documentary and talking about that. And the documentary on Venus, oh God. From Paris is Burning. She was the transgender. What was her name? Venus. Oh, Extravaganza. Thank you. Venus Extravaganza. That documentary dropped on Netflix, I believe, last week. So we're going to watch that, and we're going to talk about that at some point. Elva, I can't say it's going to all happen this week, but this y'all homework assignment. Also, what is that dating show that comes on with a couple switch? That dropped on Netflix this week as well. We're gonna watch that. So we got a lot going on over the next couple of weeks, y'all. So just keep your notifications on and just be ready. Okay. Thank y'all for being here.
Before you leave, what happened with Universal? Because I missed it. I missed your live on that one.
Well, Universal?
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? I'm not being. What you mean? What happened?
For Universal Studios.
Maybe a lot. The ultimatum. Yeah, the ultimatum. That's it.
Okay.
You mean like? What you mean? Like, did I like it? Did I? I don't know.
Did you like the Universal Studios?
No. Maybe you gotta go watch the live. But no, I mean, to make a long story short, I just think in general. I feel like they take advantage of, and this is across the board. When I say they, I mean the people who are in the business of the business. They take advantage of parents wanting to do stuff for their kids. Like, the shit is expensive when it just doesn't have to be. They charge way too much money when they just don't have to. And I feel like, at least with Disney, I do feel like I got an experience with Disney. I feel like my nephew definitely got. He, you know, the people were nice. It was just a lot. It was the experience was different. It was still expensive as hell, but with Universal, it was expensive. It was actually more expensive than Disney, and I got less.
That's why I prefer Busch Gardens.
Yeah, my nephew was able to go to Super Mario World, which is all he really wanted to do. He didn't even know he was going. He didn't know he was going on any of this. Like, the whole trip was a surprise for him. He didn't know anything. He didn't even know he was getting on a plane until the week before we left. Like, he didn't know anything. And all he knew was that was his first plane ride. But he would have been perfectly content flying to Orlando and staying at the resort and just going swimming every day. You know what I mean? Like, he was, so Disney was a surprise. So everything was a surprise. So he was excited to go to Mario World. But I'll be honest with you, if he hadn't gone, he wouldn't have missed anything, and we would have probably saved ourselves a lot of money, because it just wasn't, for me, it wasn't worth the money. The experience he got wasn't worth the money. Like, literally, we were there. We got there at 10 o'clock. We didn't leave until 3 o'clock. And he got on one ride.
So y'all didn't go to Minion World?
I don't even know what Minion World
Minion
is.
Land. You know Minions from, the movie?
That was in a different part. We would have had to buy tickets for a different part.
Oh,
Oh
that's
wow.
crazy.
No,
So
that's how it
Universal,
is.
so Universal is broken up into 4 parks.
Mm-hmm.
So the Minion Land was at a different park, which means we'd have had to buy tickets to go to a whole nother park.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's how they get you. You know, like when you go into Disney World, you got to go to the Animal Kingdom. You got Magic Kingdom. You got
Yeah.
Epcot. It'd be different. So you thinking like, you getting the ticket, you going to Disney World. But you think that's all it is. But it's
Yeah.
different parts. Like the Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom. I love the Animal Kingdom. I think the
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom is my best. I like Magic Kingdom only because I want to see that castle ever since I was a little girl. But
Yeah. Like he was excited. Listen, he wanted to go in that castle. That was all he wanted to do. He was like, "Can we go through the castle? Can we go through the castle?" When we got a chance to go through the castle, like he was again. Sometimes it's the small things.
mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Disney has the different parks, but I honestly feel like I got my money's worth out of every park. Like I feel like he had a great time at every park. Now Magic Kingdom was a little wonky, but that was on us. That wasn't on the park. That was because the adults were not on the same page and some things got lost with the adults, but it wasn't because the experience wasn't there for the kids. Whereas with Universal, it just wasn't there for the money we paid. It just wasn't. Islands of Adventure has Hawk and Universal has Simpson Land. Yeah. Yeah, it's four parks altogether under the umbrella. Because Spider-Man, he loves Spider-Man. Spider-Man was at a different park too. Harry Potter is at 3 of the different parks. So yeah, if you want to, it's certain. And again, I get it. It's a business and they're trying to make money, but it's just a lot.
But they
Now,
nickel and dime. Check out of you down in
back,
Orlando.
yeah. Now I do want to go back to do the Harry Potter stuff, but it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna probably cost me like $1,000 to just for the park.
Yeah, I don't like Harry that much.
I do.
You don't get discounts. It really be by being a teacher. You don't get a discount.
What kind of discount you think I get for being a teacher, baby?
I thought they would give you a discount at least for
It's
being a
not a
teacher.
cheap discount.
Well, I get it because I have military discount, so I get I go through the booking
Yeah.
through them, so I get like the park hopper and all that type of stuff. So in the resort, but the thing of
Yeah.
it is, because it's I guess they do it for military families whatsoever, and it's like
Yeah.
SeaWorld.
Well,
I
no.
get it
Now I
free.
will say this. I didn't get I I did not compare the prices for the Universal tickets with my military because my nephew is military. He could have gotten us the military tickets. But I
Mhm.
honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not check that. But we did check for Disney, and it was cheaper for us to get it on the app. The
Mhm.
military discount, it was a discount, but the app was cheaper because the app was running a sale where kids were half price. So by the time you factor in that we had 3 kids and their tickets were half price, it actually came out cheaper for us to go through the park than for us to use the military discount. And for Disney, their lightning pass was actually reasonable. It was Universal. The lightning pass for Universal was like $150 per person. The lightning pass for Disney was like $20-$30 a person. Like that's a lot more reasonable.
Well, that's
But
pretty
anyway,
cheap.
I did a whole live on it, y'all. Y'all can go
Yeah,
watch
I'm
the
gonna go back
live.
and watch it. I'm gonna go back. I just wanted to
Um,
ask you because you was on here, but I'm gonna go back and watch it.
well,
And we
Miss
can count on you
again,
to oh sorry, go
Miss
ahead.
I'm sorry, Miss SSH Burnell. We were at a timeshare. I stayed at my parents' timeshare with Wyndham, and again, the tickets were cheaper. The tickets were cheaper on the app. You say you just looked it up, and teachers can get a 40% discount for where Disney and for Universal.
Because I thought they gave teachers discount. That's what I was like.
They
Okay.
use, I mean, they give us discounts, but 40% is a lot. I ain't never seen that high before. I do wish I knew that because I know teachers get discounts, but I ain't never seen no 40% discount.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. You went and you saw
Thank
and
you,
you made it
Vanity's
back.
Fair. That's good to know. I did not know that. Now that's on
Yeah,
me. I didn't know
I
that.
thought they did.
I
I
did
think
not.
they
That
did.
I did not
Because
know. I wish I
when
had
you down there,
known.
girl, when you down there, you got to pay for like when you stay in the hotel, you got to pay for the parking in the hotel.
Mhm.
You go to the park, you got to pay to park out there. I mean, if you driving your cars, that's
Yeah.
that was at SeaWorld and Disney World. You have to pay, the park. I mean, it's crazy because you have to pay, and then you have to get on the little trolley to get to Epcot Center. Then you got to go on that skyline thing to get to Magic Kingdom. But it was an experience. And when we went to the one in Paris, um, it's definitely different. The castle even looked different. But my grandson he want to go to every darn amusement park there is. But I'm glad you had time, girl. Girl, when I tell you I got tired, I get so tired. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, and they're walking. And the next time when you go to Magic Kingdom, ride that the riverboat. You enjoy that. It's real nice. It's real nice.
Okay. Well, thank y'all. I'm about to get off here because, like
You're
I said, I've been
welcome.
traveling all day. But I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow, child. They always want to go. Now, we were thinking about doing a Great Wolf Lodge next summer. So I'll keep that on my list, y'all. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll definitely keep that on my list. Next time I'll look for teacher discounts. I know that there's like a cruise. What's that? MSC. They have teachers can get a free cruise on MSC. Now, the other thing too, you guys, a lot of times there are strings attached and you got to read the fine print, but free is free. Free is free. You probably got to pay the taxes or something like that, but that's still cheaper than a full cruise. So
Right.
I'm gonna have to look into that though, because Vanity Mirror, when I'm ready to do my adult universal trip, I'm gonna have to look into that.
With the on the regular channel, whenever the verdict come in, are you going to do a live as soon as the verdict come in?
Oh
or
yeah,
are you
we
gonna
definitely
do
gonna
one?
do. Oh yeah, we're on
Okay.
Diddy. Okay, yeah, we're on Diddy Verdict Watch. We're definitely gonna do a live when the verdict comes in. Somebody in the chat said, am I going to talk about birthright citizenship? Probably not. I'm sure El Teddy did a video last week while I was gone. If not, I'm sure he's going to do one this week.
What is too heavy for right now after you coming off of vacation?
Yeah,
Yeah, that stuff is depressing.
I'm still processing. Because if y'all had said to me 3 months ago, y'all know what I would have said. I'm like, they can't do that. That's in the Constitution. And the fact that what I always believed was what's the word I'm looking for? Was the
checks and balances, right?
The safety net of our country is literally being thrown out of the window. I'm really having a hard time processing a lot of these.
I have a mental block against it because it's like, who wants to sit here and think about like literally having your faith in checks and balances and things like that eroded? So I just can't. It's like, what can I do about it, and what's the point of continuing to ruminate on it?
Yeah.
But
So basically, he's saying the birthright, even if you was born here, you still can be what is it removed.
That's not exactly so that's the other thing too. And then I'm gonna get off here. Y'all really am. Let me say this too. I need y'all, and when I'm saying this to everybody, myself included, stop going for the clickbait. Because that's really the Supreme Court did not get rid of birthright citizenship. That's not what happened.
Okay.
So I need y'all to go. And again, I'm not chastising anybody. I'm just saying in general, I need y'all to go past the clickbait. They're going to put the clickbait up there because they want to shock us. But when you actually read what happened, that's not what the Supreme Court said. But it's still bad what the Supreme Court said. Basically, what the Supreme Court said was that the lower courts do not have the authority to say what executive orders are or are not constitutional. And that's really bad. That's bad. So again, go past the clickbait, y'all. And again, I told you guys a long time ago, you guys have got to find an independent news source that's going to give you guys the real, that's going to break the shit down. There are a lot of really good independent news sources right now. And if you can only take it in doses, then only take it in doses. But find a news source outside of the mainstream media and find a news source that is legitimate. Don't
those
just
Supreme Court rulings are online too.
Yeah, don't just click on anybody that's doing a video. Like, don't just click on anybody. You have to really make sure vet these people. But
I'm going to listen to the Mighty Touch.
If you also listen to a major network, I would say Rachel Maddow is the first place I would start. But
she's a beast.
Yeah. Y'all got me Google. Look, I'm about to Google teacher discounts now. I wish I had said something before. Overall, did I enjoy my vacation? I had a ball. I loved it. I had a good time.
Good for
I
you.
know it sounds like I did a lot of complaining, but I wasn't. I don't want y'all to feel like I was complaining. I was really just letting y'all know, like, so y'all wouldn't make some of the mistakes that I made. Like, for example, any of my educators, don't forget that we get. I literally didn't think about teacher discounts, y'all. I honestly did not. So now I'm going to look into it. So next time. Outside, I did check military discounts and I checked something else, but outside of military and outside of I did something else. I did military, but anyway, outside of those places, now I know I'm definitely going to check for teacher discounts, right? So yeah, I'm sharing with you, but overall, I had a great time. Like I really, really did. I learned some stuff. This is my first time putting together a trip for like kids, because I mean I'm usually doing stuff for myself, you know. So I did. I had a good time. It was worth all the headaches. It was worth all the money to see the kids running around and literally just being kids and just having a good time. So
Yep.
yeah, had a good time. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up off of here. Been here almost 2 hours, honey. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
y'all.
night.